Welcome to another bright day in Empyrion Galactic Survival, and in this video I am going to talk about repair bays. And the reason I'm making this video is I've had a couple of comments, one from Snafu who asked me whether I can demonstrate how repair bays actually work and whether they actually work for capital vessels, and I can actually confirm that straight out for the back, guys, that yes, it can work with capital vessels, but there are a few things to remember which I will go through later. And a couple of other comments I had about people saying, well, why do I always keep repairing my ship using the multi-tool? Why don't I set up a repair bay? And I want to answer those because with the Alpha 8.0 update there were some major changes with how repair bays worked, and to be honest, it's okay, but I'm not completely sold on it. And I think that is reflected by the number of people who've made videos, and I've had to troll around quite a lot on the forums and through YouTube to find someone actually demonstrating this. And to be honest, guys, I'm not 100% certain. So part of this video, especially once we get to capital vessels, is going to be a little bit of a shared voyage of exploration, guys. So let's get down to the basics. And with the 8.0 update, they actually introduced new tech, and if you come to the base now, you will see down here, quite low down, you will see that once you get to level 12 you get a repair console and a tier 1 repair bay. Now the tier 1 repair bay only repairs blocks, and you can see there it says require console to work, and the tier 2 repair bay is what actually repairs ships from templates. Now I'm not going to actually do anything with the tier 1 because that's actually covered with the tier 2, and I've also got a tier 2 repair bay that I actually looted from somewhere. So what we're going to do first off, guys, is I'm just going to come to the automatic constructor, and because I've unlocked the tech we can do that. I've got the resources for it, and while that's actually building I can get in here and I will just deploy the tier 2 actual bay. And I need to get a little bit away from my ship. I think we can actually do it here. Let's just, out of habit, I think we're far enough away because the bounding boxes are quite important when you come to repair the ship from a template. I think we should be okay here. I'm obviously going to have to move this around a bit as and when the time comes, and I think while the ship's rebuilding I'm going to have to bring my small vessel over. Now if any of you guys follow the series you'll be aware that in the last part I did attack the advanced oxygen and I took a little bit of damage, just to show you here, and I actually lost this block here which I've actually replaced, but you can see there's a little bit of damage on the actual ship. I'm just going to jump in and power it up. Or put the thrusters on. Third person, we should be able to get clear of the capital vessel. And I'm just going to fly around and bring around in. And again, if any of you guys following the series, while I'm actually coming across, you'll see I've got a nice view now of my new actual hangar, which seems to be filled up the terrain. Now it's clearing off now. That's why I've been working a little bit off camera. I've also put some extra solar panels down, but that's not the purpose of this video, so I'm just going to have to get in. Of course I'm going to need to, I think, just drop back. That should be good enough. I'm just going to drop onto here, and I'm going to leave the power on for a very specific reason, and hopefully by now we will have had the console would have been made. So we're just going to come in here. And I'm just going to look at the advanced constructor. Yeah, we got the console, and we're just going to drop the, we could probably put the console over here out the way, and what happens is the console connects with that repair bay. I've got no idea if you wanted to have multiple repair bays in your base. I've got a feeling it only works with one console, one repair bay. And just to give you guys a bit of an overview now, this is the new console, and you can see it's got standby mode, it says no repair mode. So now for tier 1 only the repair blocks will be highlighted, but we got a tier 2 so we got both, but I'm going to demonstrate both. So we're going to click here and it says retrieving data. So it's a little bit chunk, and the first thing it says is ship is powered. So, and just to prove it, I think some people have speculated that if you turn the thrusters off, it actually doesn't, it will then work. But just to show you guys, when I did this, it still told me my ship was powered. So you've got to power the ship off completely like you used to have to do. So we're just going to come in here. I'm going to power the ship off, and of course that's got implications if you've got a fridge, and more importantly if you've got plants on your capital vessel, but more about that later on. Now you'll come in here and you will see that it says amount needed to repair blocks. So, and it says here we need 7 iron ingots, which to me seems a little bit excessive considering the amount of repairs that I've actually got, but we're just going to take that straight away. We're going to go to the advanced constructor. I'm going to pull off all the iron ingots. I'm also going to pull off some sathium for something that will be apparent later on. And we're just going to come in here and we're going to pick up the blocks. Now, a tip here, guys, is that you can put the iron ingots in, but if you for some reason you pick this console up, any resources you put in will be lost. So what you're going to do is don't actually put too much in. I'm going to put exactly 7 in because I actually want something there, and for some reason that it's retrieving data. I don't know if that actually thought I was ready for repair. I think it's got like a mine, so this can be a little bit tetchy, and it won't take the blocks while it thinks it's doing the checks. And for some reason now, so it's now, it says ready to repair. Now you've got automatic mode, which means that if I do that, it will do it there, but we're going to repair it manually. And what you will see is it puts this green area up here. This green bounding box is very important because if anything intrudes into this bounding box that's not part of the ship, especially with templates, it won't repair it. Now, so you can see this is actually repaired, but hopefully this will work. I did it as a practice run. You can see here the ship is only 99% repaired. And if I show you that there, and it's normally, yeah, it says the rocket launcher here has not been fully repaired. And the reason for that, I think, is a rounding up error. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but if we come here, if we put an extra one in, it should now tell me that I can do the remaining of the repair. Ship is powered. For some reason it always tells me that the ship is powered. If I put automatic mode on, it's almost like the ship powers back up again because I haven't been in the ship. Yeah. And you can see now, because as soon as I power the ship off, it works exactly the same way as it did before, and it will actually repair the ship. And if we come back to here, it will tell you that the ship is now repaired 100%. So that's how the block repair works, and that's how you do it. But to me, for doing light repairs like I've been doing, the multi-tool still seems better, because if you're repairing with the multi-tool, you're consuming your ammunition from the multi-tool. I mean, 7 iron ingots to do those light repairs just seems a little bit heavy. So what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to do a ship repair, but the first thing you need to do now is, before you do anything, and this is something you want to do if you build a ship and you want to be able to repair it using this method, even if you don't have a repair bay, what I suggest you do is you save the template immediately. Because once your ship's been damaged, especially if you lost blocks, if you save the repair, then what will actually happen is you will actually repair the ship to the point where you've actually got the lost block, if that makes sense, guys. So it's very important that you drop the repair template before you actually your ship takes substantial damage. And what we're going to do now is come up here, and what we're going to do is repair to template, and you can see now that this is calculated to replace 1 block. It needs 2 iron ingots and 5 sathium. Now I can repair that with 1 single hardened steel block. And just to illustrate what I'm talking about, guys, is if I come here, if we go to the advanced constructor, and this is the reason why I haven't been using the repair bay to repair my ship. Because if we come here, if I show you a hardened steel plate, takes 3 steel plates and 5 sathium ingots, but that may on the surface seem, oh, that's okay, because one hardened steel block is 5 sathium ingots, but for 5 sathium ingots you actually get 10 hardened steel blocks. So each hardened steel block is half a sathium ingot. Now to make a hardened steel block, which is up here, you just need 2 steel plates and 1 hardened steel plate. So to me it just seems a little bit over the top to actually get a repair. So like, and I'm going to do it just to demonstrate, guys. So we're going to just drop here. We're going to put 5 sathium in. And of course it's retrieve and repair data. Probably because I'm in automatic mode. Let me just take that automatic mode off. And we're going to put a couple of... I mean, the iron is fairly good. So it's retrieving the repair data. And you can see it will do that. And it should now quite happily repair this block here. Now, interrupts. It won't let me inside. Okay, stop now. Interestingly enough, though, what it does do when you do repair a ship, it puts the textures and the color back onto the block. So it doesn't just actually just repair the block, it also repairs the textures and all that. So as I say, if you've got an elaborate ship and you've got the resources, I can understand the reason for doing this. But if I come back to here, I will let me show you here. It says the ship has no damaged blocks, but we've consumed all the necessary resources. So to me that's quite an expensive way to repair a ship, especially if you're low on sathium. So that covers repairing a small vessel. And now we're going to move on to the capital vessel, but before I can do that I'm going to need to move my small vessel out of the way. So I'm just going to jump in here, guys, and move it. So I'll be right back once that's been done. Right, guys, I've moved my small vessel back in, put it into this new hangar bay. For any of you guys following the series, this is my new hangar bay. I've actually put a lift shaft up to the above so I can get up quicker. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for the night to count down, and then I'm going to sleep through the night so that when we do the next part with the capital vessel, I'll be doing that in daylight. So I'll see you in a minute, guys. Okay, guys, welcome back. Well, what we're going to do now is work on the capital vessel. And if I can get close to my capital vessel and just show you here. That's my base. Sometimes this can get a bit tetchy. I should be able to get it to hook without actually going in. If I show you here, my capital vessel's taken a tiny bit of damage courtesy of probably various drone attacks. Maybe drones have got a couple of lucky hits on. And what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to move this I'm just going to move this over, and we're going to put this underneath the capital vessel. I think if we put it over a little bit, about maybe slightly this side, I'm just going to drop this in, and so we've now got that area there. And what should happen, I've got holes in my deck, but I'll fix that off camera, guys. Okay, this sometimes can be a bit tetchy. It says ship powered, but it says type small vessel. Okay. Just try again. Right, it's now picked up. Sometimes it takes a little while to actually pick it up. Of course, it says ship powered. Right, guys, so this is the sting in the tail when it comes to repairing your capital vessel, especially if you've got one like me where I've actually got a plants on it, because this planet here has no oxygen. So if I switch the power off, because at the moment I've got no thrusters on, just to show you, I've just got power off. And so the moment I power off, my plants in here are going to die. So just to demonstrate, guys, I'm going to, well, I think we can just harvest this stuff through. I've got so much food piling up now. I don't really need to do this, but so I'm just going to harvest this out. How am I doing space? I've got plenty of space, okay. And I'm just going to retrieve the plants. So basically, to repair your ship, you're going to have to pick up all the plants. And just to demonstrate, guys, I've got plenty of corn, so I pick up the pumpkins, and we'll just leave the poor unfortunate one in the corner there. And if I come out now, and if I power my ship off, make sure it's not the base, because I don't want to. So I've now powered off that. Oh, that's okay at the moment. Okay, so let's see if that's actually going to work. Sometimes it takes a little while for those to actually perish, but we'll see. I mean, we may get away with it, but I would recommend that if you're going to be doing, because it is quite a lengthy process to actually do these repairs. So that plant may still actually die, but so I would certainly recommend picking those plants up. And of course, we've got this here. And of course, I've got the old style repair bay in here. I don't think that actually works with the ship. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make my way back to the actual console. So here we are back at the console, guys, and it says here not enough damage, 99%. Now if I pick up and put one of these in, and you'll see it says ready for repair, and we can repair this, and that will actually completely repair the ship. Repair in progress. Oops, no. Does it need another one? Okay, it's 100% now. So the ship, the capital vessel, has now been repaired with blocks. So that works exactly the same way as the small vessel. Now, what I'm going to do now is actually I'm not going to make a mistake. So we can get a hook on the capital vessel. Okay. And of course, what we're going to do now is save the template. And very, very important if you want to repair from a template. So we've now got a template. And what I'm actually going to do is just going to knock a hole in the side of the ship like that. And if we come back up to here now, and we're going to go repair from template. And it says repair stop. Please remove docked ships from repaired target. So what that actually means, sorry about this, guys, I'm just gonna notice that I've got some food stashed away inside my wow. I knew everything was filling up, but I didn't quite realize that it was filling up to that degree. Wow. I've got some space in my meds. No, okay. Food processor. Okay, I think what I'm gonna have to do is, this is what I've been doing with my surplus corn, is basically telling my constructor to turn it into things. So where was I? So I've knocked a hole in there, and what it's actually saying is that I've got my small vessels inside of the camper van. So what I'm going to have to do now is actually remove my secondary small vessel and hover vehicle from the camper van. So I'm just going to do that, guys, and I'll be right back. Right, guys, welcome back. And I have removed my secondary vessels from there, and I thought I'd just show you, just to confirm, guys. There we are. You can see that this corn plant has actually died because of the absence of oxygen. So that does prove that you need to remove the plant. So what I'm going to do now is just walk back down outside again. So we're just going to walk through here, and you can see I've parked my small vessels over there. And we're just going to go back to the console. So here we are, we're at the console. If that required repair for this template is blocked, please remove obstacle first. Okay, what is actually causing the problem then? What is the obstacle? But what you can do is come here and actually, this says show the repair area. I wonder if it's down to the fact that my console is actually inside of the repair area. Okay guys, what we're going to do is remove the console. And of course one of the stings of having to do this is the fact that if you move the console, let's just shove it right over in this corner here, you lose any available resources that were actually in the console. So no, it says it's still blocked. So what is actually blocking this area here? And I have seen this on the forums, and somebody says that it's to do with the actual, so that's in there, that's okay. I wonder if it's to do with the fact my ramp is down. Okay, let's just go over it and pull the ramp up. And it's, somebody replied and said that it's due to the fact that the blocks are actually infringing into the base and it's confusing the game. So let's retract that, and we're actually going to see if that fixes the problem. I mean, this is very much a bit, when I did a little bit of a test earlier on, it was due to this terrain on this side, but I deliberately moved the ship over for this recording. It still says template is blocked, please remove obstacles first. Okay guys, I'm going to have to look round to try and find out what's actually causing this problem, and I'll be right back as and when I think I've solved it. Welcome back. It's taken me a little while to actually get the repair console to accept that there was nothing around here that they didn't like. What I actually had to do is I dug away all that corner there, and then for some reason it seemed to object to me having the top part of my elevator bay. So it seems if anything that's not a standard block actually intercepts with the repair area, then it won't let you actually do it. I think that makes a case for having a dedicated repair area that in a nice flat area to be done. Anyway, I've got there in the end, so we're just going to come here and we're just going to add some blocks, and we're going to go one. Oops, now we've got to wait for it to retrieve the repair data. And again, this is 5 safe in blocks, so it's not particularly, I wouldn't say this is optimal, guys. And it's actually said 6. Okay, should retrieve the data. And while it's retrieving the data, you can see there's the hole in the side of the ship, and it said start repairs, and you can see the bounding box now that's a bit more solid, and you can see it's actually now done the repairs. I think that's about it. Just to wind up, I would still say that light repairs, especially to blocks, I would certainly stick with using my multi-tool, and even to the extent of, say, like if I've lost a weapon, especially off a small vessel like a Gatling gun, I think it'd be more optimal to actually just replace the Gatling gun as long as you can remember where you actually had it. I would say that the repair bays are more orientated now towards extensive repairs, especially if you've been in quite a major battle and say like you'd lost quite a lot, say a fairly large chunk out of the side of your capital vessel, and it's going to take a lot to rebuild. But be aware of this issue with the number of resources. Maybe if I'd taken out 10 blocks, it would be exactly the same number of resources as to repair 1 block, so that could be something. And what I will say, guys, is if any of you guys have encountered any problems or have any of your experiences with using repair bays, feel free to add them to the comments, especially to do with this area thing, because it took quite a long time for me to actually sort out what was going on, and the console obviously doesn't give you any indication. So as a final recommendation, I would probably recommend, especially for a capital vessel, that you build a dedicated repair area. You do what I did, inflict some minor damage onto it, then mark out a landing area for your ship to drop into so that it doesn't get that occlusion. I mean, obviously I may have to modify my base to accommodate that. In fact, I could probably take away that vertical stair now that I've got a stair here, just to show any of you guys who follow the series. I've now created this platform down here, and I've got a shorter elevator there, so I could probably take out this elevator anyway. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.